we can both relate as we're both mothers in this industry, which is not kind to mothers. What I'm so proud of the show for dealing with is this topic, and no one's brought this up yet. And I think that that's such a great question. It was so raw. It was so on the surface for me, dealing with what do I want? What do I not want? How are people seeing me? Because I'm an older mom. Like I waited a long time to have kids and I got those questions. Are you going to have kids? When is it happening? What's going on? So I really felt a lot for Becca in this season.
But I also think as an actor, it's freeing because you don't have to stress out about how does my skin look? How does this angle look? Or, oh, my Spanx are choking me to death. Like we don't have to worry about any of that. It's truly about what the scene is about, what your character is doing.
The words,
the emotional content of every scene is like the most important thing. And
hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. My guests today are very special and they're part of a series. This series has changed the game of animation and also has made you realize that time can do so much more than you expected to. I'm talking about the very critically acclaimed series, Undone, and the cast joins me. Hello, how are you guys doing?
Hi, thank you. Nice to see you.
It is great. I must say that it is true though. You know, being a part of a series that, truly changed the game for not just animation, but the way you perceive the concept, the way you shot everything, must be delightful in a way because you must be going through experiences that nobody else kind of did.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing. We are so lucky. We feel so lucky to be a part of the show, doing what we're doing in a way no one's really tackled these topics or animation in this way, right?
So I mean, it's fun being on the precipice of a new technology. I mean, it's the first time it's ever been done on a television series level.
Yeah.
And also they're constantly inventing new ways, new technology to make it even richer and more beautiful. And compared to when we first started, when we had no idea what we were doing, to now realizing that they can capture every micro expression that we have and the dynamic. And it's such a beautiful world.
And season 2 feels we feel very confident going into season 2 because season 1, like you said, there's nothing really like this. So we didn't really know what we were doing. We were kind of learning as we went, even with the rotoscoping, they were discovering it as we did it in real time. But now we kind of know what we're doing and it really shows in season 2.
And it makes sense that the stories that we tell, the emotional content, the history, that there's no other way to tell it other than rotoscoping. And it makes it less scary and more user-friendly for people to participate.
But Tami, are you now used to the entire idea while shooting, with the entire technique of rotoscoping? Do you miss not being actually able to use any kind of physical form in that perspective as an actor and still be very in the moment and do it? Are you used to it?
I was going to say, I think we're both lucky because we both are on other shows where we get to do that still.
Right.
So this is we each luckily enough have 2 shows.
Yeah.
So this for us is really fun.
Right.
And it's it's an exercise in sharpening your acting skills, trust, imagination, diving in. And then we go to our other television shows where it's normal, where you're tons of hair and makeup and tons of props and everyone's touching you. There's a coziness to this show and it feels very intimate. And I think that comes out in our performances because it's a very kind of sweet, but intimate and serious topics that we're handling here.
Right.
And I think that if you had it in this huge production, it would never translate the way it is now.
But I also think as an actor, it's freeing because you don't have to stress out about how does my skin look? How does this angle look? Or, oh, my Spanx are choking me to death. We don't have to worry about any of that. It's truly about what the scene is about, what your character is doing.
The words,
the emotional content of every scene is the most important thing, and getting that message of that particular scene. It makes your acting muscles super strong because that's basically all you have.
Yeah.
Kind of patriarchal setup where a woman at the end, after she gets married, her choices still don't remain hers alone. When it comes to taking the family ahead or other choices, everybody seems to have an opinion in it. I think that also kind of comes into the picture because, is she really ready to go ahead and take a step, whether it's motherhood or whether it's others. And I think that comes out really nicely in the series as well. What did you think?
Yeah, it's so true. What a great question. I mean, I feel very much, I was so excited by Becca's journey, first of all, and her arc of season 2. I think that it is kind of a universal topic for women when you see Becca's struggles and her feelings towards starting a family and what everyone else thinks she should be doing and kind of like the expectation of women. And I know we can both relate as we're both mothers in this industry, which is not kind to mothers. And it is not really kind to, really, or I would say it's not that, it's more that the expectations are false or too high. And I think that what I'm so proud of the show for dealing with is this topic, and no one's brought this up yet. And I think that that's such a great question. And I think that I'm proud of the way that Becca handles it and kind of goes back to what herself, which she doesn't do. This is new for Becca. And I'm proud of her for jumping into her own power and kind of going into that. And I will say, interestingly enough, as Angelique, myself, I had 2 children during the show. So I had my first daughter during season 1 and my second, I had a son right before season 2 of the show. And it feels very much that it was a safe place to go to work, where I don't think that I would have necessarily had that same experience on other shows, but this is a kind of nurturing place. And it really brought out all of those choices in Becca for me. It was so raw. It was so on the surface for me, dealing with what do I want? What do I not want? How are people seeing me? Because I'm an older mom. Like, I waited a long time to have kids and I got those questions. Are you going to have kids? When is it happening? What's going on? So I really felt a lot for Becca in this season.
You did such a great job, Angelique.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Constance, I must say, you're someone who's been very confident always in the fact that even though you've got stereotypical characters, you are playing a mother, but you've always made it your own, tried to see what you could do with it. I remember once you talk about the fact that I hope we come to a place where we don't do creative casting and we really truly mean and look at the person as just actors. Maybe it's been a while since that conversation.
I'll just say there's been progress made, but there's more room to go.
Fair enough. Thank you. Sorry, that's my time.
No worries.
All the best.